Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
Welcome to the Local Lowdown and find out what's happening in Lavaca County, Texas. Now here are your hosts, Murray and Michelle.
Hello everybody, this is Murray back with you on this edition of the Local Lowdown podcast. This is for the April 3rd and 4th editions of our newspapers. And I got my partner Michelle here. How are you, Michelle?
I'm doing great.
All right. Well, I got a couple of things to say that Jimmy Apple wanted me to mention before we get started. Shiner this is all about district track meets. Shiner is going to be in Ganado and Yoakum, and Hallettsville will be in their district track meet at Rice. They'll both be at Rice Consolidated. And that's coming up. I don't believe he gave me a date.
Does Moulton not have track?
Yeah, they have it, but I don't know exactly when.
Okay.
So that's all I got. What do you got?
Well, the eclipse is going to be happening. So that's going to happen on Monday. Now, here in Hallettsville, I don't think that we're going to see a whole lot, even in Shiner, Yoakum. None of these areas that we cover will get the full eclipse, but there is a map that was in our Hallettsville paper this week that kind of shows you where that will be. So if you want to go see those locations, you can also obviously Google it. But if you don't make it to the full eclipse to see it, you won't get another chance to 2044.
Lord.
So
that's a long time, isn't it?
It is. So if it's important to you to see, I would make plans to go somewhere on Monday. Fortunately, we all have to work here at the paper, so none of us will just be seeing what's going on outside. But our windows are tinted here, so I'm thinking that that'll help us feel like we're in the full eclipse.
Well, I understand that the best place in Texas to see it is at Eagle Pass, and you might see a whole lot of other things while you're down there.
That's true.
And they was talking about the billions and billions of dollars in tourism it's going to pour into these towns and cities that are along that track.
Yeah, I heard that Waco, some of the hotels are like $400 to $500 a night for a hotel room right now. Wow. But also make sure Jimmy talks about this week about the importance of safety. We kind of mentioned it last week. This isn't a joke. You do want to make sure regular sunglasses are not safe to use to look at this. So do your part. Protect your eyes. You want to keep them for as long as you can, for sure. And
we have this is Autism Month too.
It is. It's autism. So I need to read a little bit more up on this, but it has always, or I shouldn't say always, for some time now it has been Autism Awareness Month. Now it's Autism Acceptance Month, which is kind of the same thing. And I kind of think it goes hand in hand, and you need both awareness and acceptance, because sometimes just being aware of someone who struggles with certain things and accepting those struggles is really the key. So you kind of need both. But Turtle Wing's been doing a lot of things with throwing out first pitches. We have some pictures of that. I know Shiner had one this week, so they'll probably have that in next week's paper. So they're doing a great job. We will have some other upcoming stories throughout the month about different people who are successful and overcoming some of their autism obstacles. And so just remember, we all have our challenges.
Yeah, I think we noted that in all of our papers, that this is Autism Month. Is there an autism day, or is it just
Yes,
all
it
month?
was Tuesday. Remember, you didn't wear blue because you were already here?
No, I had
but-
blue jeans on, so
Oh,
that
okay.
covers
well,
me.
then I guess he was covered. But we did support Autism Awareness or Autism Day here at the paper on Tuesday by wearing blue. And then I'm not sure, I need to look it up, but I know you're supposed to wear blue a day of the week every week
okay.
now. But I'll make sure so y'all get on board.
All right. You got anything else?
Well, I had a fun weekend.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I did. I went to Houston to the Ms. Houston pageant. And so Dallin Peshek from Shiner is the Ms. Shiner, and I am one of the directors of the Ms. Shiner pageant. So we were able, us and one of my friends who also has a couple of kids on the court, of course my daughter's on the Shiner court, we were able to go up there and support her and experience it. And it was a great pageant, run very well. It was a hugely exciting experience, and the best part was she won.
Yeah,
So you can't
yeah.
really beat that.
Yeah.
So her next competition will be the Miss Texas Teen Pageant at the end of June. So we look forward to going back up there and supporting her.
You bet. We'll be wishing her all the best. All right. Anything else?
If you're getting ready for April, because it's got here really fast, we're going to, as the Shiner Court, also be participating in the Fiesta Flambeau Parade, which is in San Antonio. And it is the world's largest light parade, which seems unreal to me that it would be in San Antonio, but it's going to be a great experience. You do have to be accepted to get to go to the parade, so Shiner is one of the accepted floats. And that will be April the 27th, that we'll travel to San Antonio and participate. They do pin trading, so there is a Shiner pin that will be available for us to trade with other people. And we also have to decorate the float. So we are looking for a few sponsors. So if you want to do that, make sure you contact the chamber at 361-594-2481.
Well, that's float. That's not on the water.
No, that's the wrong number. Stop again. 361-594-4180.
All right. Well, that's float. It's not on the water.
It's not on the water.
Not
no.
on the
It's
river.
not a
Not
river.
on the river walk.
It's it's in downtown San Antonio. When we go past the Alamo, I'm pretty sure the route is very long. I think it's like 6 miles or
All
something.
right.
So it's very long, but it is on ground, not water. So
Okay. What kind of upcoming promotions do we have in the paper coming up as Discover?
Discover. So Fiddlers, we just finished. So Fiddler Frolics will be happening in Hallettsville the last week of April, that same weekend, the 26th, 27th, 28th, which is a big event. So we are going to have a special edition that's going to come out in the April 17th edition of our paper. So look forward to that. We'll start talking about Fiddlers a little bit this week. And then the next publication that we're going to be doing is Discover. So our salesperson, Betty Sump, will be contacting you. If she does not contact you, don't feel like you can't be a part of this. It's a great magazine that promotes Lavaca County and all that goes on here, and a great way for you to get your business recognized so that visitors can come see it as well as locals. So definitely you want to be a part of the Discover magazine. So if Betty doesn't call you, you can contact us. What is our number? 361-798-2481.
2481.
That's where I got the confusions.
All right. Well, I guess with all that being said, that we can move on into the sad portion of this broadcast, and we'll be doing the obituaries. What you got, Michelle?
So I have Alyssa J. Showman. Alyssa J. Showman, 22, passed away on Sunday, March 24th, 2024. She was born on July 20th, 2001. I'm sorry. She is preceded in death by her papa, Tommy, how do you say that?
Looks like Ryler.
Ryler, and her uncle, Vance Showman. So our condolences to her family. We have Vaclav, is that how you say it?
I think that's right, too.
Okay, Jim Alois Natardis. Vaclav Jim Alois Natardis of Shiner entered into eternal rest on March 24, 2024 at the age of 68. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, our internet is giving us problems, folks, so that's reason for the delay.
And then we have Tasha Balzer. Tasha Rebecca Balzer, 43 of Yoakum, completed her work on Earth on Easter Sunday, March 31st, 2024. She was born March 22nd, 1981 in Yoakum to Dan and Judy Zisa Balzer. I think it's a good way to put completed her work on Earth.
I think all the rest of them we've already done. Now,
I'm not sure about the Tim. Let me do that one.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Alan Ray Tim, 72 of Shiner, passed away Tuesday, March 26, 2024.
All right. Okay, well, I guess then we can go ahead and move on.
We can do
to
it.
the Hallettsville Tribune, and it's all kind of artwork on this
All
paper.
kind of pretty.
What do you got there? Total taking precaution.
So it was what I was talking about earlier. Jimmy has all the advice on how to protect those eyes. Even your cattle maybe should protect their eyes. I don't know. They're probably not going to be looking straight up at the sun.
Probably not.
Like us crazy humans would try to do. And then the snakes. Snakes are in full swing. This is their time of year to come out and say hello. Murray, we forgot to talk about my possum.
Oh, well.
Do you want to talk about it now or later?
No, we'll do that when we close it out.
Okay, great. So look forward to my possum story. Anyway, so along with snakes, watch for possums, but snakes are beginning to appear. This is their time of year. They're going to start looking for cool places and water. We have that the new county treasurer, Tammy Kurth, was sworn in. This is the story in regards to the obituary we just read of the young lady who passed away in a tragic car accident. We have Monsignor John, who was inducted into the South Texas Polka Hall of Fame. And then this is kind of what I talked about last week, and Jimmy helped me out. Henry did some of the research too, is the origin of Easter Bunny nest and basket. So which one do you use, why we believe what we believe, and why we do. And thanks to Larry, he tells us that rain continued all through March, and we know it did.
Yep.
And so he talks about that weather.
Got plenty of it. What about the town chatter? What's the little fella got in there this week?
Henry is still trying to translate the Czech word that I can't say, and I'm not even going to spell this week. This week you got to figure it out on your own. But we do have that for one more week. I know we've had a lot of people call in, so please keep calling in. We also have his thought of the day, which is, blessed are those who can give without remembering and take without forgetting.
There you go. What about those stolen trucks? This is happening more and more.
So we're still having that in our area. These 2 trucks were stolen. If you have any information, there is a number given to the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. Please make sure your doors are locked. Make sure that your eyes are open and you're paying attention, and hopefully we can get this a little bit more under control.
Yeah, they go after pickup trucks and large vans anywhere, any kind of vehicle where they can haul a lot of people.
And then we only have one livestock report this week because it was Good Friday and Cuero did not hold theirs. Then we have pictures from the turtle wing, and then we have Murray's article this week about falling down.
Yeah, I got the idea to write this article after there was a thing on the news about Senator Joe Lieberman, and he was on television not long before this happened, and he looked really healthy. You know, he was spry, and then I read later that he had passed away. So I did a little checking, and he died from a fall. And he didn't die of natural causes. So I decided we've got quite a few seniors in our area, including myself, and I decided to write this to give you some ideas about falls, and the statistics is horrendous as to how many people fall, elderly people fall, and results in death. So I hope it'll encourage you to read it, and it says that the CDA says that it's not necessary, that they're preventable if you'll just take precautions. So I hope that you'll get something out of this, and I know I did. I had taken a tumble or two in my time, and they've given ideas about these different exercises you could take to keep your balance, and how you need to check your eyes at least once a year and make sure your glasses are good. So check that out, folks. I think you'll get something out of it.
So how did Joe Lieberman? He fell and then injuries caused
They just
that?
they just said he fell at home, and evidently it was serious enough that he passed away. They were talking too about so many senior citizens, when they fall, they get broken hips, and that's usually if they fall on their side. If they fall on their stomach or even maybe their back, they're not as likely to get it as if they fall on their side. I know my mother, she broke both of her hips, and that was from falling on her side. And that's another thing too, is about, in my mom's case, she had smoked ever since she was a teenager, and that's bad for your bones. And then she was real reluctant to take these different kind of medicines that will help build your bones back up. But anyway, I think we got so many folks here, including a lot of us that work at this newspaper, that could get something out of this. So I hope you get a chance to read it.
All right. So Murray did a good job. It wasn't a history story. We have UIL results, sorority news, honor roll. Now, Chuck, here's the thing. Chuck goes from his computer having issues to, I need 3 pages of sports. Mark Luby had 3 pages of sports the week before. So I'm not real sure. Is it a competition? But we do know that spring has a lot going on. And he did bring me a Popeye sandwich. So 3 pages it was.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Well,
bribery works around this office.
Yeah, you can bribe people in here. And usually on Taco Tuesday, we don't think about bribing because we usually all order one and we're usually all eating. So
yes,
we look forward to Taco Tuesday, folks.
We love Taco Tuesday. We could have Taco Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
You bet.
All right, but Chuck did a great job of covering all the sports that he had missed last week, or that he should have reported, I should say, last week, and then last week's sports that he has in here. So check it out, guys. You have 3 pages to look over and read and see what's all going on, from golf to Little League to tennis, a little bit of everything.
It's all there. And we had some Easter egg hunts.
We did, and I hope that whoever got to participate in one had a great time. Did you do one, Murray?
No, I didn't do one. Didn't do one this time.
Oh, well, maybe next year. Maybe we'll do an office hunt next year.
Yeah.
An adult Easter egg hunt.
Maybe we could hide Yashik and look for him.
Maybe.
All right.
So fire ants, we talked about snakes. We also talked about fire ants, which is also something coming out. And let me tell you, you can almost find fire ants anywhere. And when they find you, you better get to stepping pretty fast.
Yeah, you can ask that little fella in our office last week. Something got him. We're not sure if it was a fire ant, but I know that he did start dancing around.
They make you dance.
Yeah.
So if you ever wanted to learn how to dance, find you some fire ants.
All right, we're going to move on now to Michelle's favorite newspaper, the Shiner Gazette. What you got?
So the St. Paul High School, or Shiner Catholic School, they have one gym that they use, and it has been around for quite some time. I played volleyball, basketball. I guess that's the only 2 sports you play in a gym, right? Yeah. I did play some good dodgeball games in that gym. But so I grew up playing in that gym from kindergarten on, and it has been around, a staple. But hey, it needed some new windows and some work, so that's what they're doing. You can see on the picture that all the windows were out and being replaced. So get some information about that. Now this is a big one, and I don't know how many people of you want to listen to our podcast, but this is important for you to listen to. So the Shiner Parade, which has been going on for at least over 45 years, has had a directional change. And I don't want anyone to get alarmed, as if you have sat at your house and watched the parade for 45 years, you can still sit there, because no one is going. We're actually adding a few places that you're going to be able to sit, but we're not taking any of the regular spots away. We're just changing the start and stop point. And main reason overall is safety. We have been lining up on the 34-35 bypass, which is by Mecker's Sausage, and that does not get closed down when our floats line up there. So we want to make sure that during the parade that everyone can unload, load, be setting up their float, and be safe. So we are going to move it, and the lineup will now start in front of the church school on St. Lamilla and go down there. We do still have some logistical things to work out, but we're excited for this change. And so if you live on Avenue B, you're going to get to see the parade more. So that will open up some spots to sit in the shade for everyone. You may have to buy, the only thing I would say is if you throw out candy or you're squirting water, you may have to load up a little bit more. But other than that, we're preparing for a great half moon. And
basically, you're just changing direction.
Change of direction. So no one should panic, because I know change is hard for everyone. We do have, I talked about going to see Dallin compete, and we do have a story on her win and where she will be headed next. And again, big congratulations for her taking that win on a big stage. The Volunteer Fire Department cook-off, we talked about that a little bit. It is coming up. So lots of fun there.
Yeah, if you love antique cars and hot rods, you'll love going to that car show. I'm going to try to make it over there. I usually go every year.
I can't wait to see you, Murray. I'll meet you there. It's a date, Murray.
Yeah,
Don't tell Cordelia.
We'll look forward to that, yeah.
So we're going to keep going. Pre-kindergarten registration, that's very important. You don't want to miss that, or you may miss out and have to find a babysitter for another year. As a parent, you have to remember that stuff.
That's right. Looky there. There's a big ad for the podcast.
Gotta love that. We have the Pivo and Kolaches, which was held a few weeks ago. The winners, there's John Zach, Ani's husband. He took 3rd place. We also have this award, and the winner of that was Brenda Gomer, and it's Bringing Up the Rear.
All right.
I think that I'm going to do Pivo and Kolaches next week, and that is my goal. My goal award, Bringing Up the Rear, and being as excited as she was about it. The Weed KJT Society made a donation, so you can read all about that. More Easter egg hunt. We are scrolling, and there's Mark Luby's sports. He is a busy man.
Lots of sports. There's too many sports for us to read every one of them, folks, so when you get your newspaper, you'll have fun reading all those sports.
And Janet and Shiner got a little more in there about Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month, so you get a head start on reading that. And like I said, we will make sure that we have more in all of our papers throughout the week. We want to thank Gonzalez Healthcare for their ad again. And we're done with Shiner.
You bet. Gonna just take a short trip over to Yoakum and see how Nadine and Allison are making
I'm
it.
going to Yoakum today, Murray.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Well,
My daughter has a softball game.
Tell them hello for me if you
Well, I
happen to
don't
see
know. Nadine said she's going to come see me because, she misses me a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So she said she's going to come out there and see me, but I have to wait and see. Of course, they're talking about watch out for snakes, and I will be watching because I don't do snakes. I don't do wildlife. That's the bottom line. They had a swear. They put the treasurer in there that took oath, but they also had a swearing-in ceremony for their Yoakum Police Department, so you can read all about that. And then that new city manager, so they just had one. They were on a search for one. They got one. He did not last long, and so here we go. We're looking for one again.
Looking for more. Well, hopefully they'll have better success next time.
Yes. And we're just moving on through. Easter Bunny made some visits. You can see all about that. We have some more obits.
Yeah, I think there's 3 there that we didn't have on the website.
So,
Nunez, is that Nunez?
yes.
And Polich.
And
Murphy. Yeah.
So, make sure that you guys from Yoakum, you're going to read those. You want me to read them, or?
Just read the first paragraph.
All right. We have, it's a Spanish word. Espetacion. Patsy Nunez, 87, passed away March 28 after a sudden illness. Then we have Mary Pollock. Mary Edith Pollock, age 81, passed away on April the 1st. And then we have Robert Mace Murphy, 81, of Sweet Home, passed away April the 1st.
condolences to all you folks, all the families and friends of those folks.
And we have National Library Week is coming up April 8th through the 12th. So support your libraries, guys. I know that you can find a lot on, as Henry Yashik calls it, Goggle, but
Yeah, goggle.
but you do.
Yeah, that's kinda,
Libraries are still very
that's
important
kinda like
resources.
February.
We love you, Henry. And then Herald Times Sports, you're going to see a whole lot, just like everywhere else. My goodness, there's a lot going on. And Sweet Home ISD issues first bond for the school, so make sure you read that.
Plenty to read in the Yoakum paper, folks, so you need to check it out. Like I said, there's so much in these papers now. We're trying to shorten things up a little
Murray
bit.
says I talk too much. Let's just be
Well,
honest.
no, there's just so
Whatever.
much in those papers that, we'd be here all day trying to read everything. So we just try to hit the high spots and let you read the paper yourself.
You go ahead, Murray. You should know this one without looking.
Well, we got the Molten Eagle. We've got quite a few items on there about the Easter egg hunts, both for the chamber and for Shady Oaks nursing home. And we have a story. Remember the Alamo? The Molten 3rd and 4th graders got to take a trip to the Alamo, which I've been there many times. And so these kids are getting a head start of learning about their fabulous Texas heritage. And we've got the whole group on the front page. We have more about the snakes, and then we're promoting the being aware of autism. And the story I did about the falls are also in this issue of the Molten Eagle. And Henry Joe Yashik's Town Crier, I think he mostly has events listed and meetings. And also we're going to do away with the mystery photo because we didn't have much response to that. Basically because those photographs were so old that there's not too many people around that could recognize what they were. So what we're going to do, and this is Henry's column, so I'll let him make up the rules, but basically we're going to put pictures of existing and families that are, several generations instead of years and years ago. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming up soon.
That's pretty exciting. Can they send in pictures too?
Yes.
So
They can
do that.
They can send them to that realtcs@zohomail.com. And we have March Awards.
Presented some school news there. Always congrats to those kids. They've been working hard. Some sports.
Yeah, we've got track and field, we got softball, we've got the picture of the girls golf team, and they took a second place win. And we also have Michelle's story about the young lady over in Shiner. And the only thing I did was changed up Michelle's headline a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you bribe me to do that?
No, I don't know. That just hit me better. No big.
It's a good one, so I'll let it go, but I
Well,
still
thank
want
you.
my bribe at some point. It's fine. We have much respect around these areas. Well, most of us, not Chuck so much.
And the one-act play group in Bolton they are now by-district champions, and they move, I believe it's into regional. And we have a 6-column color picture of them on the back page, and congratulations to
Yeah,
them.
definitely, and best of luck, guys.
You
Keep
betcha.
going. Y'all put in a lot of hard work.
All right, we're going to move on now out of the Molten Eagle, and we're going to take a short ride over to, I call it the watermelon capital. There's other towns that
It's closest to
argue
us,
that point, but we're going over to the Luling Newsboy and see what's going on over there, Michelle.
So Nicole talks about a roughneck cook-off that revs up flavors that's going to be coming up this weekend. So, man, if you're in the Luling area, maybe you can get some taste of that roughneck chili and barbecue that's going to be cooking.
Can't beat that.
City elections, make sure you know when that's coming. There's a bunch of different elections and dates. Nicole also talks about honoring veterans every day, not just on Veterans Day, which, of course, Murray and we support very much.
That's true.
As much as veterans, we also support first responders. It doesn't need to be a day. They work really hard and sacrifice a lot.
24 hours
for
a day.
us.
EMS people, the whole 9 yards.
They had some obituaries as well. Constancio Alamon Cruz was born on September 2nd, 1935 in Jamalvi, Tamaulipas, Mexico. So condolences to his family and condolences to Doris Ann Johnston, formerly Grauman of Luling, was called home to be with the Lord and Savior on Wednesday, March 27th, surrounded by family at the age of 91.
All right.
Sidney Joseph Francis II passed away peacefully on March 25th in San Antonio.
We got more Vietnam veterans,
Yes.
and salute to them.
And of course, they have sports going on there. If you need to get your political ads in, now is a good time. I think sheriff race you can start back up, or those races, I'm not sure, sheriff and who else. City, you can be doing that as we speak, and you'll see some in Luling.
Yeah, Luling had a bigger paper this week than normal. How many pages it looks like, Michelle?
10.
10 pages. Well, good for them.
Good job, Nicole.
Yeah, those folks in Luling do a good job, and we always like to mention them because they are part of our newspaper family, owned by the same group. You folks in Luling, I know you support your newspaper, and we appreciate it. We appreciate all the ads. Good luck over there, and good luck with those cook-offs. I know it'll be something to look forward to. And I guess that's going to wrap up the newspapers, Michelle.
Yep, that's it.
I guess you can talk about your possum story now.
Okay, so on Friday, which was Good Friday, and my first day off in a very long time, as I slept in, hoping that I didn't have to set an alarm, and that I would at least make it to 8 o'clock. It was a goal. My daughter comes running through the house saying that my dog was barking, which, I mean, I do love my dog, but I didn't know she was only my dog.
There's probably your dog when it needs to be fed or something like that.
No, that's when it's my husband's dog when it needs to be fed. My dog when it's barking and she can't find her dad. Well, either way, this is way before 8 o'clock, and I told her to just go and let the dog in, because the dog is an outdoor dog. And she then is yelling that it won't come in. So I go out, and I do notice that when I hit the door that the bark is very different. And from history, I know that dogs, that when they have kind of a different bark, there's usually something in the area. And I kind of hoped that it was a stray dog, but it didn't sound like that kind of bark. And as I made the corner, because she was on the side of our house, the barking kind of stopped, and then I got to the edge, and there was my dog with a possum in her mouth.
All right.
That was hissing at me with teeth like a monster.
He wasn't playing possum.
No, he was not. He was very upset, so I demanded that my dog dropped it. And so she did, and then I tried to grab her, but I didn't want to get close to the hissing teeth possum. And so at that point, my daughter came, let our little dogs out, which are Yorkies. One, thankfully, is food oriented, so she was looking for food. The other one ran right up to the possum like to be best friends, and I had to grab him. So that was my closest encounter with the possum. But somehow I managed to get all the dogs inside. We then went in our front yard and watched till my husband came home from the store, and then he kind of edged the possum out. And as the possum walked away, he looked back and hissed at me, Murray.
So he had the last word.
Yes, and I did not go back to sleep. But luckily my dog did not suffer any injuries. And when I saw her as I walked back in the house, she had the hugest smile on her face. It was the best time she had in a long time.
Grinning like a possum.
Grinning like a possum.
You know, I've got a lot of possum stories.
Yeah.
A bunch of possum stories, but they're too lengthy for me to talk about them here. But one time, possum was in my backyard here when I lived here in Hallisville. The big possum story was when I lived in Gonzales. But since I lived in Hallisville, they seem to follow me.
They like you.
They get under the house. You know, I don't understand, because I think they're stupid possums, the ones I have, because the whole south end of that house, the house is on blocks, and the whole south end of that house is open. So you can come and go from under that house. He digs a hole under the lattice work in the backyard to get under the house. But one time I had family up there, and we were we were consuming a few suds. I think it was around Christmas Eve. And he come out. I named him Pete the Possum.
Pete the Possum.
And he crawled up in the tree. And one of my family members and myself, back when I smoked cigars, we tried to stick a cigar in his mouth.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't care much for that.
Yeah.
So he hissed at us too, and we left him alone. And I don't think he even took one puff.
Yeah, y'all may have drank a little too much of that suds to be getting that close. I'm not sure about that. I am not a fan. That's all I can say. Grinning like a possum, those teeth are not something you ever want to see. Now, I will say Murray last week said he could not put the heater on in this place, and he tried, and we froze the whole entire time. Well, I just must have been successful. I'm starting to sweat.
Oh, yeah, and I have a jacket on.
Ooh, it's hot in here, Murray.
Well, let's talk just a second about the local lowdown group. We need to remind people that we have this public group called Local Lowdown, and it's in conjunction with this podcast. And I had a lot of responses to my looking for the best hamburger.
No, we need to try some of them, Murray.
You know, and Egan Barthels, he come on and he gave me an idea about a place that we order Mexican food there every day. I had not every day, but every week. I had no idea that they served hamburgers, and Egan said they had good hamburgers. And that's the Vaquero restaurant
right
on
downtown.
the square. Yeah.
So let's do next Monday. Oh, but you go for soup on Mondays. Next Tuesday, we'll try it.
Oh, you think so?
You want to do that?
I don't know if it's awful crowded.
Murray, we can call and order it, and they can bring it. Clayton, when he's doing when he's working hard, can take a break and go get us some burgers. We're doing it.
I heard they didn't have any ants down there, so I think
it's safe for him.
It'll be safe, yeah. But I appreciate all the responses we got, and there were a whole lot of them. And Egan, and I remember Brenda Cash, I believe a couple more. I think several of your friends, Michelle, came on there and gave us a good idea of where there's some located. And so I'm going to think about another food type and put it up there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And let y'all.
And in the meantime, we're going to try these burgers because we will decide what the best burger is.
Oh, yeah.
Might as well. We get to enjoy it.
Well, I don't have anything else. I just want to encourage everybody to take in all these events, like what's coming up in Shiner, that fireman's barbecue and that parade. That's really an enjoyable thing to go see. And we'll be having Pillars Frolic, all kind of other things going on.
We're starting the festivals.
You betcha. So I guess with that, I'm going to say goodbye because my stomach's beginning to growl and I haven't had any coffee yet. So
I don't even know how he's talking.
That's going to be all from me, friends, and I'm going to turn it over to Michelle and let her give you her goodbyes, and we'll see you next week.
Now, I did think there was a bear coming in our studio, so I'm glad Murray identified this as his stomach. So I'm going to make mine short because I don't want his stomach to keep growling, and he needs his coffee, people. But have a great weekend, guys. Have fun, and look for those posts, and we'll let you know about those burgers.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.